Hi guys, Wheelie here. Instead of starting with a chain, why not try starting with a cord? This is a simple four-sided cord. Second side, third side, and the fourth side looks a little different, not quite a V. And we're back to the first side, the top, which has nice clear V's, easy to crochet into. A little like chainless foundation stitches, a starting cord is another option for beginning your projects without using a chain. Cords are thicker and sturdier than chains, and I think they look a bit neater. I like starting cords more than foundation single crochet. I prefer the look and I find it a little easier and quicker. All that is just my opinion, but there is one fairly clear advantage that a cord has over starting chains and chainless foundation stitches. You can measure out the size you want your project to be before you start. Let's say I want a 15 centimeter wide scarf. You don't need a tape measure unless you want to use one. You can do this by eye. I'm just using the measure to demonstrate. Grab your yarn, whatever yarn thickness you like to crochet with, measure out the width you want your project to be with your yarn, and then triple it. So about 3 times the width that I'm after, 3 times the length of my starting cord, and then I'm going to add on enough yarn to weave in a tail, say 5 centimeters or whatever tail length you prefer. I'm going to hold on to that spot, and that spot becomes where I put my slip knot on the hook. The yarn is on my hook and I have my working yarn, which I'll wrap around my fingers the way I usually hold it. And this is the very long tail. We're going to crochet with both. So I'll call this yarn between my hook and my finger the working yarn, and this yarn that I'm holding with my thumb and my middle finger the tail. I start by yarning over with the tail by bringing it from the front to the back of my hook. Then I hold the tail and the knot from the slip knot to create some tension. This is the fiddliest bit. There are 2 loops on my hook. Yarn over with the working yarn in the normal way and pull that through both loops. That's the first stitch of the cord. If you like, you can pop a stitch marker in it to help you place the final stitch of the next row. Be very aware of your tension. It's really easy to make the stitches too tight. If that's happening, try going up half a hook size for the cord and then go back down to the normal size for the rest of the project. Let's do the next stitch. Bring the tail over the front of your hook to the back. Hold on to the tail and the last stitch you made to create some tension. There are 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over with the working yarn from the back of the hook to the front of the hook and pull through 2 loops. The tail goes over the hook from the front to the back. Hold it there. The working yarn goes over the hook from the back to the front and pull through 2. Yarn over with the tail from the front to the back, hold it, yarn over with the working yarn and pull through 2. Keep repeating that until your cord is as long as you want it to be. When I measured the yarn out, I decided I wanted about 5 centimeters yarn to weave in, so I'll know my cord is about the right length when I have about 5 centimeters of tail left. I'm going to jump ahead now to show you how to work into the cord. I have roughly 5 centimeters here. Of course, my working yarn is still going, coming off the ball of yarn. Let me just measure this cord for you. Perfect, it's right on 15 centimeters. So it's obviously not going to be absolutely spot on perfect every time, though I'm pretty stoked that it is this time. But I love that this little trick works so well. I mainly use it for blankets and scarves, which, face it, don't need to be down to the millimeter exact in size. So the cord bit is done. When you finish your project, you'll need to weave in this tail and any others as usual. Next, I'm going to make sure you're comfortable working into the cord now you have it. I'm going to single crochet, so I chain 1 and turn. The chain doesn't count as a stitch. If you want to use a different stitch, it's the same principle. You might chain 2 or 3 to get up to height for a double crochet, for example. Look at your work from above so you can see the V shape of the stitches. Don't count the loop on your hook. Count back the chain or chains you just made, so 1 for me, and crochet into the next V. I'll insert my hook under both loops of it and single crochet. And I'll just continue on like that, as if this was a normal chain. When I started the cord, I suggested you might like to mark the first stitch of the cord. that marked stitch will be where the final stitch of the row goes. If you're confident crocheting in rows and can recognize your stitches, it won't be a problem, but if you do need a little bit of help recognizing your stitches, I recommend you use a stitch marker. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to learn some other crochet techniques, check out my playlist on the left. Or if you're after project ideas, browse the playlist on the right to find something fun and fast to crochet. I'll see you next time.